Hello Capricorns, and welcome to Intuitive Empress Tarot and your love reading for December 2018. If you're new to my channel, welcome. It's lovely to have you here and I hope you enjoy the reading. And if you are returning, thank you very much. I really appreciate your support. I hope obviously you're following me on Facebook where I have my weekly love readings, my taroscopes. Obviously I do private readings. You can arrange that via my Facebook page, which is Intuitive Empress Tarot, or you can send me a message obviously via YouTube. So this is for Capricorn, Sun, Moon and Rising. It's a general reading, so not everything that you hear will necessarily apply to you. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Don't forget to check out the reading for obviously Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus, okay, because I do specialize in love readings. So 2 cards have come out already. Let's see what else is going to happen for Capricorn during December 2018. What's going to happen in love and romance for Capricorn December 2018? What's going to happen in love and romance for Capricorns during December 2018? Okay, what's going to happen for Capricorns in love and romance during December? Too many cards during December 2018. Okay, so at the bottom of the deck we have the 4 of Swords. Okay, how's that? Can you see that okay? Capricorns are always the one I do first every month, so just getting the camera right. Hopefully you can see. I have to take off my hat because it's causing a bit of shade. Okay, so let's see. Capricorns, this is looking interesting. Okay. So your overall energy for the month is the 4 of Swords. This means that you might be inclined to withdraw a little bit. Now this is a fairly short-term energy, so it's not too serious. It's not like the Hermit or anything like that. But it just suggests that you might be feeling a bit burnt out. You might be feeling a bit tired, a bit stressed, ill. And that really you need to be looking after yourself, okay? Whether you've been burning the candle at both ends, working too hard, worrying about stuff, because obviously swords are about mental energy and you do have quite a bit of swords here in your reading. So just be careful. Obviously you're coming up to your birthday, end of December onwards. Obviously happy birthday to any Capricorns that do have their birthday this month. But I think, and I'm a Capricorn sun, so I'm kind of feeling this myself, that I want to hibernate. I want to take that time. I'm kind of stuffing my face. Maybe like trying to put on weight for the winter. And that energy might be here for you too. Okay. Now the first card you have here is a really positive card. It's the 2 of Cups. So this suggests there is some kind of soulmate energy or twin flame. Definitely romantic relationships are likely for many of you in this month, be that a new relationship or existing relationship, but it suggests that things are good. Obviously there is this loving partnership here. Now let's clarify, because I do like to clarify as we go along. What is the 2 of Cups here for Capricorn during December? Okay, that's not the card I would have liked to have had. The 3 of Swords. So this is a card about disappointment, okay? Things not working out quite as you would like. Let's get another one. Or 2. Ah, okay. So you know how I said the 4 of Swords wasn't so bad, that the Hermit would be worse? Here we have the Hermit card. So, and also we have the 10 of Wands. So, okay, Capricorn. Loving relationships look like they could be a bit challenging during the month of December, because here we have a relationship that is a disappointment, that is a burden, that basically you're not sure about, and it makes you want to withdraw to your man cave or your woman cave and see what's going on, to try and find some wisdom within yourself about obviously what going the way that they are. Perhaps you're losing faith in love and relationships feel like too much effort. That's a shame. That is a shame. It's a shame for me as a Capricorn. I was kind of hoping that this was going to be a more positive reading, but this is where we're at. Obviously it doesn't apply to everybody. Okay, so obviously 2 of Cups is generally a good card. I feel that one of the partners, if you're in a relationship or you're about to get into a relationship, I feel that one of the partners is more keen than the other, okay? That it's probably the man is more keen, and the female in the relationship, the woman in the relationship, is kind of less keen. And that's kind of where this disappointment, where this burden, sense of burden comes from. Sorry, just having a drink. Okay, now I can see with the next card, okay, so there's this underlying energy of wanting to withdraw, of being exhausted, of being tired, stressed, okay? We have this relationship here that may be disappointing or feel like a burden, and it makes you want to obviously withdraw into yourself and to try and find your wisdom of the best way forward, and whether it suits you, whether you want to continue with it, because maybe you feel you don't want to be bound to them, okay? But one of the partners is holding on and more keen than the other. Now the next card is the High Priest. So this suggests obviously restriction, because he's very conservative, he's very much a traditionalist and doing things by the rules. Now I would say that's quite a positive card in terms of relationship, because it suggests stability, it suggests moving things on towards marriage. It can also suggest that you need to take advice, okay? Obviously with the Hermit, that's about looking within for your wisdom. But the High Priest is about going outside of yourself and speaking to a counselor, or, you know, literally a priest, or an older male who may give good advice. And particularly with it being next to the King of Swords, there may be a male in your life who can, a mature male in your life who can give you advice to help. Now, it looks to me like here we have this Seven of Pentacles. So things aren't going to be as easy as you want them to be. Okay, perhaps with this love relationship you want results now, okay? You want your happy ending now. You just expect everything to fall into place, and what this card is saying is that that's just not the reality of the situation. That relationships take hard work, okay, and falling in love takes time. And although obviously you're on the path, obviously not at the beginning, we're a 7, so you're sort of into this relationship. This is not necessarily a new relationship, but this card says you've just got to put the effort in. You've got to nurture the relationship, nurture the love, in order to get to your happy ending. And maybe this is the advice that you need to hear, you know, from this High Priest, in terms of if you are asking someone, you know, what should I do? It feels like a lot of effort, it feels like too much hard work, you know, I'm disappointed, it's just not as good as I thought it was going to be. Put the effort in, okay? And here we have the World card. So you've got some powerful energy going on here, right? You've got a bit of major arcana. So the World card is actually saying that you come to the end of a cycle, you come to completion, okay? And the sort of rewards and outcomes that you would expect with that. So this makes me think that things will work out. Obviously, you get to this place of satisfaction. But it also talks about entering new cycles, okay? So you might find that, that things are going to change. Now, obviously, with the High Priest, this can be a card of marriage. So maybe that is something that you're moving towards, this more stable relationship. And with the World card, if it suggests that you can sort of have everything that you want, you know, it's almost like the world is your oyster kind of situation. But obviously entering this new phase of life, it might be a new, more settled, traditional phase, okay? So you're past the sort of early flirty stage and into something a little bit more serious, a little bit more grounded. Who knows? Now, the next card. This is the central theme, okay? So here we have a man. This can be your energy. It can be a man in your life, okay? So if it's your energy, it's saying that, so let's just go on personality. So the personality of this card, whether it's you or your love interest, is one of quite cold and logical detachment, okay? This is not a person who is operating from their feelings. Right, this is not a person who is overwhelmed with love. This is someone who is looking at things quite practically, right, very logically, and sort of weighing up the pros and cons about whether they want to be in the relationship, whether you reflect well on their reputation, for example. You know, do they feel proud walking down the street with you, that sort of thing. So this is not a warm, fluffy person. This is someone who, well, obviously they are intelligent, okay? They are potentially funny, right? Humorous. They can obviously be good fun. And this is a king card, so we're talking about maturity here. This is someone who knows what they want. They're not so much into playing games. You're not struggling with immaturity and fickleness, okay? It's just, is this emotionally nurturing enough for you? Or are you yourself putting in the emotion to your relationship, okay? Because obviously we do have this Three of Swords here, this disappointment, this heartbreak, this sense of burden, this need to go within. You know, is it you? Let's find out. Where is the King of Swords here for Capricorn? So some deception, okay? There is some deception here. Now, the King of Swords is all about the truth, okay? He can cut through to the truth. He knows how things are because he does look at things logically. So with this card here, perhaps that's the case, that you need to be more, what's the word I'm looking for? Realistic, okay? That you may not be seeing the situation clearly. You may be kidding yourself or being deceived. Where's the King of Swords here for Capricorn? You know, if you have been lied to, maybe this is why you are disappointed. Oh, yeah. And we have a manipulative person here, definitely. So the situation may not be quite as you seem. The person that you're with may not be quite as they appear to be. Now, equally, we could read this a different way, because that's kind of like the negative reading of these two cards. But if we were to look for a more positive reading, and I'm just going to take one more card to see which one it is going to be. Why is the King of Swords here for Capricorn? It will give us a steer as to which way it should go. No, look, the Moon, definitely. Things are not as you think they are. So either you are not seeing them clearly, or you are, you know, and you're sort of living in this world of fantasy, or you are being deliberately deceived. The good news of this is that, and with the Hermit card that came up earlier, is that you will see the truth of the situation, okay? Any secrets will be revealed and things will become clearer, okay? Because we do have the light here, and same with the Hermit. So obviously, and the overall energy is suggesting that you withdraw and take time for yourself, okay, for healing. And it's giving you an opportunity to see the truth, okay, whether that is looking at things rationally rather than how you want them to be, okay, so you're actually looking at the facts and not just your dreams and fantasies. And also by getting in touch with your inner wisdom, your inner guidance, spirituality, if you like. It's sort of thinking, what is your gut feeling here, okay? What is your gut telling you about this? You know, in your heart of hearts, you already obviously know, you do know the truth if you listen to your intuition, okay? So just be aware of that. Now, if I was to take the more positive role of this, okay, the Magician can mean that you have all the tools that you need in order to manifest what you want, okay? And obviously with the Seven of Swords and the Moon card, both cards of deception, if it is a case of, see, the Moon can be about deep feelings, okay? Really deep feelings. Now, obviously the King of Swords doesn't appear to have a lot of emotion, right? He doesn't appear to have a lot of emotion, but with the Moon card it could suggest that there is a lot of emotion. It's just under, okay? It's the undercurrents. It may not be obvious, but that doesn't mean that he doesn't feel it, okay? He just doesn't express it. So to be aware of that. And with the Seven of Swords, it can suggest that you need to try a different tack. Okay, that perhaps the approach that you've been using hasn't been the correct one, and you need to think outside the box. Okay, so maybe, I don't know, maybe, see, because I'm seeing some troubles here, whether, see, with this burden, okay, with this sense of burden, this sense of disappointment, is it a real issue? Okay, or is it something that you're imagining? Now, we haven't got the Nine of Swords here yet, but there is this sense of it being a burden that is very heavy to carry, that it's making you sad and disappointed, and there is this confusion here, okay, and not seeing things clearly. But the King of Swords says that you will. So I think if you give it time, okay, if you give it time, I wouldn't rush into any decisions, but things will become clear, okay? Now, however, talking about not rushing in, the next card is the Knight of Swords, and this does say that action is needed. Now, this could be you taking action, okay, heading on to some decision or change, right? This could also be a person entering your life. So we have the High Priest, okay, which is Taurus, man or woman. We have the King of Swords, who is an air sign, man or woman. We have the Knight of Swords, which is an air sign, man or woman. Obviously, this is a person who's likely to be younger than the King of Swords. So it could be someone your own age or slightly younger, sort of someone in their 20s perhaps. You know, an adult, not quite as mature or as experienced as the King. So they tend to be a little bit more hopeful because they haven't they haven't had as much experience or don't have as much wisdom. They're on their path. Well, that's nice. So anyway, if this card is talking about taking action, okay, and looking for the truth, because obviously they've got the sword raised, they're actively taking control, they're actively trying to improve the situation, there is a sense of rushing in, dealing with things quickly, but don't be too reckless about it, okay? It has to be grounded in truth. And here we have the Six of Wands. So whatever this action is that you take, it does look like it brings success and recognition. So if you have been wanting a declaration of love, for example, and you haven't been getting it from this King of Swords, perhaps if you make the declaration, right, or if you are the King of Swords and haven't been expressing your feelings, perhaps by doing so, by having an honest conversation, it brings the success, the recognition that you want. Where's the Knight of Swords here for Capricorn? Where's the Knight of Swords here? Oh gosh, dropped one on the floor. Wasn't fast enough. Let's see what that one is. Okay. Ah, Queen of Swords. So here is our lie detector. All right, the Queen of Swords. So you have a king, a queen, a Knight of Swords. So we've got matched couples here. All right, we've got people who are quite suited to each other. There's a lot of mental energy going on here, right? In fact, in my weekly tarot scope at the moment, that seems to be the case. There's a lot of mental energy. So people aren't feeling grounded. I mean, there's no pentacles here. No pentacles. So, and no wands either. So there's not a lot of action, there's not a lot of grounding. This is all about mental energy, about thinking about situations, conversations, okay? Now, the Queen of Swords is quite a harsh energy, right? Now, I think here we're talking about progress, right? We're talking about evolution of moving things on, that we move from the Knight to the Queen, and we have the King here. So there is some potential for growth in this relationship or this month. The Queen is not very forgiving, right? She is not forgiving. And if your reputation has been at stake, or if you have felt that you have been unappreciated, or just generally, yeah, unappreciated, not recognized. You aren't necessarily going to be very forgiving or want to give anyone a second chance, okay? And the Queen of Swords is very abrupt, blunt in the way that she puts things. She has quite a sharp tongue, okay? I mean, think mother-in-law who has no tact, okay? Because this does generally tend to be an older woman as a person, right? This tends to be a very mature woman. But as an energy, this is someone who knows the truth, okay? They can tell when you're lying, and they are not forgiving. If you catch someone out lying, she's got a sword here, she's sort of ready to chop their heads off, or, kick them in the balls kind of situation. So just be aware of that. Just be aware. But I do feel, from looking at this card, that there is an invitation. I do feel she would, in this situation, actually give a second chance if someone proved their worthiness. Okay, and obviously with the Six of Wands here, with that recognition, I think she's kind of saying, if you come and grovel, I may forgive you. All right, yeah. And we have the shadow side card here. So this is your own card. All right, this is about being in your own power. It's about reclaiming your power from other people. So if you have been putting a lot of energy into a relationship, trying to please them, and that hasn't been reciprocal, or you have felt manipulated by them, and with the Magician here, it's possible you have been manipulated and you've been lied to. This is about regaining your own power. All right, the Queen is a powerful figure. The King is a powerful figure. All right, this is about regaining control of your life. Okay, and your thoughts. I mean, here you have this person holding their head. Okay, it's almost like, I'm going crazy, I'm going out of my mind. Okay, I don't know what to believe. But the Queen of Swords brings that clarity. Right? And you will then know the way forwards. Now the final card is the Queen of Cups. So here finally we have some emotion going on. Right, now obviously we start with the Two of Cups, so there is potential love relationship here. Here we have the Queen of Cups. Now I like this card. I do see it as being a warning, because the Queen of Cups is very nurturing, right? She wants to give her love. The problem is that she can give so much that she becomes depleted, right? And if you give everything you have, your cup becomes empty and you have nothing left for yourself. You have actually nothing left to give anyone. So the Queen of Cups tells you about managing your boundaries, having boundaries. Right, so you don't let people take advantage of you. You can give generously, right? You can give, but you need to know when it's actually advisable to give. Like, who is worthy? I think certainly with the Queen of Swords here, who is worthy of your love? Okay, who is worthy of your time and effort? And you just don't give it to people who aren't worthy. And you, with the Queen of Swords, if someone's not worthy, you cut them out of your life. It's as simple as that. All right. If your relationship is not making you happy, if your romantic partner is not making you happy, and we're talking not just the kind of, we'll put it like this. If it's a toxic relationship, you've got to know when to walk away, okay? Now, where's the Queen? Oh, gosh. Okay. Exploding cards. Right. This one. This one. This is the card that kept coming out in this week's Love Taroscopes, okay? It came out for so many signs. So I wrote a whole thing about this on my Facebook page. So yes, here we have someone who is feeling trapped. We've got all this mental energy, okay, the swords again. If you feel trapped, right? So this is literally what I was just saying. If you're feeling trapped in a relationship that is not good for you, you have the power to walk away. Okay, there is no need to feel trapped. Equally, if the relationship is not functioning in the way that you want it to, you do actually have the power to change it. Now, it might be the case that you are feeling unable to express your emotions, right? That the emotions are there, but they're running deep, if you remember, like the moon card. And, you know, perhaps that's a little bit painful or a little bit scary to dive into because you fear losing control. But the Queen of Cups is a fairly mature energy. Okay, she would not necessarily be intimidated by deep feelings. She knows her feelings. I mean, she hasn't quite reached the peak of the King, but she's very close to that top expression of the energy, okay, of emotional energy. So she does pretty much know how she feels. And here it's saying whatever it is that you feel is restricting you, you do have the power to change it. If the Magician was your energy, it would be saying you have all the tools that you need to actually make this change and do things differently, all right, in order to make this progress. And the other card that's come out for you is the Wheel of the Year. So this is very similar to the World card that already came out, right? We've got some really powerful energy going on here, right? Major changes, endings of cycles, beginnings of new cycles. It feels to me, obviously, we're coming up to the turn of the year. We're coming up to your birthday. There could be some major shifts going on for you during December, right? Or obviously just shortly after. Tarot cards aren't necessarily very specific in timing. We're talking about energy. It's like weather, you know, it's opportunities. It's up to you whether you take advantage of it. And if you don't take decisions or take actions now, there may or may not be other opportunities in the future. Okay, and obviously things can change depending on how you do actually take control of your own destiny here. Okay, so the Wheel of the Year, this is quite a positive thing. It's saying if you have been suffering from, I say suffering, bad luck, right? If things have been feeling difficult, and it seems that things have been feeling difficult, then things are likely to change, right? If you have been well behaved in yourself, I mean karmically, you know, if you have been honest, right, and there is a lot of swords energy here, so I suggest that there would be honesty from yourself. Basically, you deserve, right, if you deserve happiness, if you deserve good luck, that will be coming to you, right? Happiness, this emotional more settled feeling, all right, is going to be coming to you if you can make the changes that you need to free yourself, either physically or mentally. And I do feel it's more of a mental energy, who's changing your way of thinking, okay, freeing yourself from any control issues, or basically giving your power away or giving away something in an unbalanced relationship. Now, there's no sense here of actually having an unbalanced relationship, but it's just that if you're always giving and not receiving emotion, for example, it can be very frustrating. You know, you demonstrate your love, or you say that you love them and you get nothing in return, or vice versa. But I do feel there is some imbalance here, that one partner is more keen than the other. It's a shame there's not any sort of happy ending cards here this month, but I do feel you're on a journey. I do feel that you need to take time out if you need it, right? It's okay to withdraw. It's okay to spend time by yourself, to care for yourself, right? With the Queen of Cups, you could be feeling drained. The Four of Swords, you could be feeling drained. With the Hermit card, you could be feeling drained. And it's okay to just say, do you know what? I just need to take some time for myself. I need to nurture myself. I need to pamper myself, love myself first, basically, and not put the needs of other people ahead of your own. I hope this is helpful to you. Please do let me know in the comments if this resonates. And obviously, as the month goes on, please come back, watch again, let me know if it's panning out for you. yeah, as a Capricorn sun myself, this is not the kind of reading I would like to have. So hopefully this is not my energy this month. I really hope it's not yours. But anyway, do check out obviously Moon, Rising and Venus signs as well. And Capricorns, I'm really looking forward to seeing you again in January. And we can have a brilliant birthday reading for January. So take care for now. Check out my Facebook page, which is Intuitive Empress Tarot, and I will speak to you soon. Bye for now.